Now, there are different kinds of measurements. I mean, there's what happens back in terms of the media that goes back to the United States, where they're talking about Oscar launch pads, and you've had such a great success with that over the years, from Brokeback Mountain.
No, and to Black Swan. I mean, let's face it.
Black Swan, definitely.
I think
you have definitely, yeah.
We eventually made the right choice. I mean, I had to say no to a number of, even to very dear friends, regular, participants to the Mostra, in order to make sure that we could leave the space for Black Swan. And until 5 days before the press conference, it was not sure that Black Swan could be completed on time.
Now, he's very loyal to you because you've been loyal to him. I mean, it works both ways. You've had The Wrestler The Fountain.
But it's also the marketing strategies of Fox Searchlight and Big Fox that had to be included in this. Well, since to celebrate your first year in Venice, hoping it won't be
my last.
Your first and last visit.
Thank you.
This is Prosecco Rosé.
All right, so you have been running this festival now for 7 years. Thank you. Oh, that's lovely. It's very good. And this is your penultimate year. How does that work? I understand it's a record. You've been running the festival longer than anyone has ever run it.
Yeah. Well, apparently so. I mean, I was not there in the 50s and 60s to check it. Yes, but apparently. But I mean, that simply happened because I've been combining my experiences as a festival manufacturer through very different events and organized in different countries and very very different modes of inventing, a festival and a major film event. Because over the years I took care. I mean, I invented a huge festival in Turin, Electric Shadows, back in the early 80s, and then I moved on and became director of the Pesaro Film Festival, and then Rotterdam, then Locarno, and then my stint, I should now say, because my stint as a producer, but I knew that that was what I was called to choose as a definitive profession. But obviously, since I've been a programmer in Venice since 1980, from 1980 to 1994, in fact, the call of Venice was difficult to resist, obviously.
And you've been responsible for adding a much more Asian flavor to this festival, and I have to say I was very impressed with the Asian films I saw here this year.
Well, thank you.
Choi Hark and
that's something that really started very, very early. So 1980, I selected the very first Chinese film which played in competition in Venice. 1989, I had, as a programmer, I had pre-selected. Then everything goes. It is exactly like it does work for us now. We have programmers, consultants, correspondents all over the world, and then we have a group of experts, 5 experts, and that is the selection committee. So I had pre-selected all of those films, including the first Chinese film to win a Golden Lion, City of Sadness, Hou Xiaxian's film, and many other, and everything which followed, Jaimo's Raise the Red Lantern, The Story of Chuju, and several Japanese films. But, I said I don't want to go on. I'm always very doubtful when I'm called, the Orientalist director or the Scenologist director. I spent a big chunk of my life in China, and I do visit the country.
You appear to
quite
speak
rarely.
Mandarin rather fluently.
Yes, I do.
I went to the John Woo tribute, which was a lovely, moving night, and it touched my heart. When Choi Hark and Quentin Tarantino and you presented that award, I was quite moved.
Yeah, and being given the history, between
Exactly.
John and Choi, I
Yeah.
mean, it was very important that somehow, and it's fantastic because, you see, the reason why the Mostra still works as a very unique platform is, I think, because it is still a meeting place. In a lot of other events, a lot of other festivals, I mean, filmmakers come and go, but they go there for 36 hours of junkets. They don't meet anybody but the people that the agent, manager, publicist, world sales have decided that they should meet. Here it's very difficult for a filmmaker not to feel the urge to go see other directors' movies.
And apparently they're all hanging out at the bar at the Excelsior anyway.
Absolutely. I mean,
I saw Turturro there, I saw Willem Dafoe, I mean, there was a lot of people hanging there.
yeah, no, it's...
And today in Venice, I saw the star of Meek's Cut Off, the Canadian actor.
Bruce Greenwood.
Yes.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I mean, in a way, it is not just probably one of the more filmmaker-friendly festivals. It is also a festival, I would say, at the height of the viewer, in the sense that, I mean, yes, well, directors are not exactly making themselves available, but it may happen much more easily here than in other places. I mean,
Well, there's an intimacy here. I think that's what you're trying to say. It's not
intimacy
so big that
also
it's not like
and
Cannes.
No, and also the idea that, I mean, filmmakers are not... Well, of course, I mean, once you get a big star surrounded by bodyguards, things work differently. But otherwise, I mean, everybody, one of the reasons why Quentin, the moment he stepped down from the plane, he became the talk of the leader and of the town, is because last time he was here, he was hanging out in bars, talking to people who would discuss films. I mean, who not just
That's
fans.
what he likes to do. So nothing makes him happier.
Exactly. So in that sense, Venice is also that.